So, I know I am way late to the party on this, but I just want to throw out my opinions on this, because I thought this was funny and cringy and whatnot. You know, all of the good stuff that makes for a video, and some other people were commenting on it. So if you guys don't know about this Kickstarter project, Sam, the transgender toy, it was a notably failed toy that this mother of a trans girl and the trans girl made to try to educate little kids about trans people, and I don't see the purpose of it. I honestly don't. Like, why do you need to educate kids that young about trans people? Why can't they just learn when they grow up? But anyway, I'm just gonna watch some of the Kickstarter video for this. By the way, this is Canadian, which makes sense.
Hi, I'm Ollie. I'm 14 years old and I'm a trans girl.
When Ollie was really young, she told us really early on that she felt like a girl. To start with, we thought it was just a phase, but then it was not, and we didn't know what to do.
Okay, first of all, it's just funny that Ollie is just randomly sitting there and then putting her hand on her mom's shoulder, like she's just there as a prop, pretty much, the token trans person, and the mom is directing this. That just feels like that's what it is. And then, second of all, this is for little kids, and Ollie is 14. There's a huge difference. Ollie's age and the target audience.
We were concerned about the way our kids would be treated, so with the help of other family, we created Gender Creative Kids.
Okay, let's take a look at that statistic, which will come up again. It's posted on their website. 2 to 6% of boys and 5 to 12% of girls identify or express differently from their sex assigned at birth. Okay, so that wording is very misleading. They're basically implying that many kids are transgender, and that's absolutely not true. A very small minority of kids are transgender, and even so, a lot of kids who present as transgender turn out to actually not be transgender, to not have gender dysphoria once they hit puberty. But that's a completely different conversation. My point is, they said or express, that's a key word, so they're including tomboys and girly boys. Not even little kids who insist I'm a boy or I'm a girl very strongly. They're including tomboys and girly boys who will still not say that they're dysphoric, not say anything like that. They're including kids who are perfectly fine with being a little girl or a little boy and just express differently, which is so misleading. And I just have a huge problem with that statistic. But anyway, I just wanted to focus on that.
I was really lucky to have the support of my family and friends. Millions of kids around the world aren't so lucky.
Okay, well, it's very good for you that you had the support of your family and friends, and I do agree that a lot of kids aren't so lucky. But there's a huge difference between adolescents who are transgender and who are transitioning and who are at the stage where they can actually be diagnosed with gender dysphoria, and little kids who may express differently. You're conflating those two things. Without support, gender-questioning children are vulnerable to future of self-harm and suicide. Okay, what do you mean by gender-questioning children? Do you mean actual transgender people, or do you just mean, again, tomboyish girls and girly boys? And do you mean little kids, or do you mean adolescents? Do you mean little children? Who are you talking about?
We knew we needed to do something to help other children like Ollie. We knew we needed to teach children that it's okay to question your gender identity.
And to help them feel supported.
Meet Sam, the world's first educational transgender toy. Sam is designed to teach young children about what it means to grow up transgender. By illustrating the emotions felt by many children who question their gender identity, Sam encourages understanding and empathy through play. Each toy represents a common emotional step that many transgender children experience as they grow older. Happy, exploring, questioning, conflicted, isolated, and finally, supported. Sam was designed in Montreal by Romeo Fils and Shed and will be manufactured out of toy-grade BPA-free PVC. Sam is 100% safe for children to play with and 100% safe for adults to talk about openly. Inside every Sam toy is a heart that represents the you inside. However a child chooses to express themselves on the outside, it's important to understand that it doesn't change who they are on the inside.
Please help us bring Sam to life by pledging whatever you can. The more kids can play with Sam, the better.
Every child can learn something new from Sam.
And adults can too.
Let's analyze everything that went on there. So they're saying that a toy is going to, quote-unquote, stop transphobia before it starts. I don't think a toy is going to do anything. And again, they're saying it's going to educate little children about transgender people. Again, why do little children need to know? Yes, some little children do express themselves as transgender. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to grow up to be transgender. Some of them do, some of them don't. But that's a very small minority of children anyway. And I think if a little child does say that they are transgender, that is something that their parents need to evaluate and that doctors need to evaluate, not something that needs to be expressed through a toy and taught to other children or anything like that. I just think all of this is unnecessary, and I think it might even be harmful, because if you're trying to push it on and say, oh, you need to accept this person, it's going to probably be met with some unnecessary backlash. And just I want to point out, again, notice how that girl was being kind of used as a prop, and it was mostly her mother that was running this. But anyway, let's move on to some of the stuff on their website. The funding, as you'll notice, is unsuccessful, but luckily this didn't actually happen. So this part of it says, awareness of variations in gender identity, not actual transgenderism, let's use some vague term like variations in gender identity, is increasing in many countries, but there's still very few tools available that allow parents or teachers to talk to young children about this sensitive, complex subject. How about the tool like, hey, some people are transgender, some people transition from one sex to the other. Any questions? Sam helps some people empathize with the emotional challenges of being born a transgender or gender diverse person. Oh my god. What does gender diverse person even mean, and why are they conflating whatever that's supposed to mean with actually being transgender? And then again, they put that statistic, gender identity issues affect millions, and they put that statistic I mentioned before, which again, they're conflating expressing slightly differently with actually being transgender. And then they say transphobia causes depression, self-harm, and suicide, which I'm sure it does, but they don't mention that gender dysphoria also causes depression, self-harm, and suicide, and that's also a very significant issue that transgender people go through, regardless of whether they also experience transphobia from other people. And then they say, why is Sam a toy? We know that for us to have the biggest long-term impact possible, we need to engage the people who will shape the cultural norms of the future. Children. Again, why do children need to be involved in this? They don't need to know yet. They can just learn about this as they grow up. They'll inevitably either know a transgender person or learn about transgender people. It's not a big issue. And then finally, this is my favorite part. So, I'm not going to play the full video here, just a few clips because I want to illustrate a full point. It's not really an interesting video. This says here, Sam's story is brought to life in this beautiful short film by Rodolphe Saint-Gelais, probably some French thing, and Romeo and Fils. Set to a powerful cover of Roxette's 1988 smash, Listen to Your Heart. They're being so dramatic here. This film tells the story of Sam and her twin brother. And by the way, Sam is supposed to be a trans guy, so aren't they misgendering him here? As they grow older, Sam struggles with the same emotions that many trans children experience, and the same ones represented by the toy, eventually pulling away from her family, friends, and even her twin. So, we're just gonna play a couple of clips here.
Listen to your heart when he's calling for you, boy. You tell him goodbye. Feeling of belonging to your dreams. Listen to your heart. So much to mention, but you can't find the
So as you can see, they show Sam growing up as a child, yes, but when Sam actually comes out, he's a teenager. So, what does that say about actual trans people? And then this is my absolute favorite part. I could not stop laughing when I read this. Spoiler alert. The emotional conclusion reveals that Sam's twin only ever existed in Sam's imagination as a physical embodiment of how Sam saw himself all along. Oh man, what a spoiler. That is some Fight Club shit. Man. So yeah, that was just my review of this thing. Like I said, I don't think children necessarily need to know about this, and like I said, I had some other issues like this about how the transgender girl was kind of just being used, almost tokenized and used as a prop there to just put her head on her mom's shoulder, and how that statistic was being conflated with actual transgenderism, and terms like a gender diverse and whatnot was being conflated with transgenderism, whatever gender diverse is supposed to mean. I'm still laughing about that little spoiler. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.